Hey everybody, this is Goku7. Welcome back to Pokémon Stadium episode 5. Today we will be taking on the Gym Leader Castle, starting off with the Pewter City Gym. But before I do that, there's two things I want to address. First of all, I noticed that a few of my viewers just flat out don't know much about Pokémon Stadium. So I'm gonna try to do a quick rundown for you. In the stadium, you fight 8 battles per cup, and you gotta complete all cups to progress through the game. In the Game Boy Tower, you can play your Pokemon Red, Blue, and Yellow using the Transfer Pack. In Free Battle, you can choose like any Pokemon and battle with up to 4 players. You can even battle with CPUs for practice. You can also import your Pokemon using the Transfer Pack. The Kids Club is essentially just minigames that can be played up to 4 players. In the Hall of Fame, now this is interesting. In Hall of Fame, you will see the Pokemon that you have completed cups with. Let me go to the first Pokemon on the list. All 149 Pokemon are available here. Alright, so the last time we used Raichu was in the Pika Cup. It was a rental Pokemon, and it was level 15. The last time we used Sentru, it was level 25 in the Petite Cup, and it was a rental. And this is essentially what you can see for all Pokemon you've used to complete any cup with, or the end of the Gym Leader Castle. And in the Oaks Laboratory, well, I'll go over that later. It's essentially just a database of everything regarding your Pokemon. But now, let's hunt over to the field cam, because there's something I want to address. Alright, the field cam will be very short today and in post commentary without any moving video or anything. So, there's two things that I failed in the past in Pokémon Stadium episode 1 and 2. At the end of each episode, I have this outro where I point out some channels that I've recently watched. And those are just called the surprise channels. However, this is an embarrassing fail because I never learned how to spell surprise properly. I've had English class for years, but I never knew that in surprise there's actually an R before the P. So yeah, I spelled that wrong 2 times, so I guess that's worth 2 failures. Also, in the previous episode, I pointed out the controller pack accessory for the Nintendo 64, and I thought it would prevent dust or something, but that's not the case. The controller pack is essentially your memory card for the Nintendo 64. What is inside your Nintendo 64 is random accessory memory, or RAM. And you gotta insert your controller pack for some games to save your progress and load your progress for them, but in Pokémon Stadium that is not the case. The saves are such small amounts of data that it can be stored into the cartridge. Some games store half on the cartridge and the other half on the controller pack. Some store everything in one of the 2 mediums. But that's everything for that. Let's go back to choosing Pokemon. Alright, now that the field cam is over, let's go over the Gym Leader Castle rules and choose our Pokemon. Alright, the rules are pretty similar to that of the Prime Cup. There's the same no self-destruct move on the last Pokemon and choosing 3 Pokemon for every battle. However, there is no level restriction when importing Pokemon, but there's an interesting rule, and that is that if you use rental Pokemon of level 50, all of the opponent's Pokemon will also be level 50. However, if you use a Pokemon over level 50 using the Transfer Pack, all of the Pokemon will be taking on the level of your highest Pokemon from the Transfer Pack. So if you use a level 100 Pokemon and the rest of your team is level 99, the opponents of Gym Leader Castle will be taking level 100 as a level. But that's it for that. Let's choose our Pokemon. The first gym we will be taking on is the Pewter City Gym with the Gym Leader Brock. It only has 4 battles and not 8 like in the cups. And I've used the register option to group Pokemon per type, and let's go over each type. Now, I've taken a look at the strategy guide for Pokémon Stadium, and the guide is suggesting to use unevolved Pokemon. Now, I don't want to fully follow the guide, however, I do want to follow the spirit that this is the first gym, and we shouldn't really have fully evolved Pokemon, so I will be choosing a few unevolved Pokemon, but also a few fully evolved Pokemon. The best flying type we want to use is Dodrio. It has an interesting speed and special, but what I find more interesting is that it has Substitute, Reflect, and Fly. I can do very fun things with that. So the flying type is Dodrio. And the next grass type is, let's go with the spirit of using not fully evolved Pokemon for this gym. We will be taking Bellsprout. Now, I'm not using any of those choosing Pokemon background templates anymore. I feel that the work for that doesn't really pay off. It did work for episode 1 and 2, but not anymore since episode 3. But the best water type we want to use is one with over 100 speed and a move that is 100% accurate. And my favorite among the bunch is actually Golduck with that. It has Surf and a speed of 113, which is interesting. Now, the next type we want to use, let's go with the not fully evolved Pokemon Spirit, so we will be taking Growlithe. Now, also for the Psychic type Pokemon, why not the unevolved Pokemon Spirit and use an Abra. Also, there's one more Pokemon left, and I will be taking Cloyster of the Water type because it will have an interesting summary. But alright, that's all the Pokemon I want to use. This is our final team. Let's go over the Gym Leader Castle, Pewter City Gym. Alright, now that we're at part 2 of our Let's Play, which is the Gym Leader Castle, the episodes are going to be a lot smaller thanks to the fact that there's only 4 battles. However, I still have so much interesting mechanics and stuff to talk about Pokémon Stadium, and I'm really gonna have to change how the episodes work from here on out. So this episode is moreover a pilot testing episode for part 2 of our Let's Play, so excuse me if it sounds a bit disorganized here and there. However, there will be one summary this time, and that will be of Cloyster, and let's start that now. The team we want to use is Dodrio, Growlithe, and why not Cloyster? Alright, let's go over the summary of Cloyster. Alright, the summary of Cloyster is a Water Ice type Pokemon. Stats are on screen now with the moves Aurora Beam, Self-Destruct, Spike Cannon, and Clamp. You notice right off the bat that Cloyster is an interesting Pokemon because it has the highest defense stat of all Pokemon in Generation 1. Its special stat is decent, I guess, and its speed is also not too bad, but it has a terrible HP. But there has to be a compensation for its massive defense stat and the fact that this is the Pokemon with the 6th highest base stat of all Pokemon in the first generation. So this Cloyster has Aurora Beam and Clamp, which is a shame. I really wanted Ice Beam and Surf, but oh well. Clamp makes Cloyster very interesting. Clamp has the same effect as Bind, but 75% accuracy, though you have a chance of the move being super effective, and you always have Stab. You can hold Pokemon into Clamp, and when it's at low HP you can Hyper Beam the Pokemon. You can also teach it Blizzard, which is better in this generation because it has an accuracy of 90 instead of 70. So yeah, Cloyster is an interesting Pokemon. And now that I'm at the end of that summary, I want to point out how Cloyster looks. It has this outer shell that protects it from attacks, and dependent on the Cloyster it can be smaller or bigger, and the outside layer can be more rocked with more spikes. It also has sort of a thin inner shell that clamps Cloyster's head. It has this sensitive inside that it wants to protect, and you can fit large or small things in it, like its head. And you know, it also has this weird spike on top that I assume comes somewhere from the back of its body. I don't know. And you know, that's a really cool Pokemon design, and how I just described Cloyster design right there is kind of a similar description of how I would describe female genitals. Yeah, Cloyster is a haunted vagina Pokemon. Let's get back to the main episode. Alright, if everything has been timed correctly, the summary of Cloyster should now be over. If not, then fail. But have you ever seen a flying substitute in this game? I'll show you. Alright, Dodrio uses Fly. And what's interesting about the first two battles is that these guys like spamming moves like String Shot, but also moves like Mega Drain that drain the Pokemon's HP and add it to the opponent's Pokemon. And funnily enough, that really does not work on a substitute, like moves like Leech Life and Mega Drain and Giga Drain, and Leech Seed also doesn't work. Thunder Wave also does not work. However, with that, I still have some mechanic commentary. So I promised I'd tell you guys how to convert individual values to how they were in the first generation, but that requires knowledge of binary codes, which is something I fear might be a little too difficult for most viewers. It's really easy for me because I had two great physics teachers in high school, but not everyone gets taught physics in high school, which is a shame. I personally can't fully explain how binary code works, so for the moment you're gonna have to teach it to yourself. But basically it's a counting system that uses base 2 instead of base 10. So it can only contain the numbers 1 and 0 in every single spot instead of 1 through 9. In the decimal system, every single digit to the left is a tenfold of the number right of it. But in the binary digit, every binary system, every digit to the left is a twofold of the number right of it. Let me show on screen a few conversions from binary to decimal numbers. Note that in the example I only used binary codes existing of 4 bits, and the maximum that you can get with 4 bits is only 15. And this is very important for how IVs worked in Generation 1. But for this battle, the format is essentially the same. Dodrio, Growlithe, and Cloyster. And it's really just gonna spam moves like Leech Seed and stuff. Yeah, the battles are really easy in this first Gym Leader Castle. So, every Pokemon has 5 times a binary integer reserved. Every binary integer is for 1 stat, and the order of them is very important. The first is attack, 4 bits. Second is defense. Third is speed. Fourth is special, and lastly, the 5th one is HP. But forget about HP, that is a very special case, and I'll get to that later. So upon encounter, every Pokemon will have their IVs randomly generated by the game. Attack, defense, speed, and special can all be anything between 0 and 15. So I'll just put on screen a few possible IV examples without HP stat, because that'll be soon. And that is nice and easy and all. But listen close. HP IV is determined by the other stat's IV. The HP stat has a 4-bit integer. Alright, sorry guys, I had a quick interruption by someone, but where was I? The HP stat has a 4-bit integer, and every bit takes their binary number of the last digit, the one on the right, like in the decimal system. It takes the last digit of the other stats. So let's say your attack, defense, and special are all 1. so the last bit is 1, the rest is 0. The HP stat is going to take its first bit from the last bit of attack, which is 1. HP then takes its second bit from the last bit of defense, which is 1. HP then takes its third bit from the last bit of speed, which is 1. The HP stat then takes its last bit. This will result in a HP IV binary code of 1111, or decimal number of 15, which is the highest possible IV in this generation, because there were only 4 bits reserved in every stat. So in the end, an odd numbered attack adds 8 to the HP IV, an odd numbered defense adds 4 to the HP IV, an odd numbered speed adds 2 to the HP IV, and an odd numbered special IV adds 1 to the HP IV. But let's say attack, speed, special are all 2, or 0, 0, 1, 0. Can you guess what then happens? Well, basically, 2 is not an odd number, so every bit reserved for HP IV would be 0, resulting in an HP IV of 0. And that is everything I can tell you guys about IVs. It's pretty difficult, but like really easy for me. But yeah, that's it. That's the interesting commentary for today. Sorry I failed a few times and I got interrupted, but this is something that is just not easy to explain unless you're a physics teacher. Those guys can like, yeah, this is HP IVs and this is binary code, and here it is combined. There you go. And then I got everything like straight. Just I knew what to do. So for this battle, I want Cloyster for its clamp move. I want Golduck and Bellsprout as backup. So for this battle, we're just gonna spam Clamp and Aurora Beam. Excuse me, it doesn't have Ice Beam. But there's one more thing I want to talk about now. Brock is known for having an Onyx in both the anime and the games. I would like to talk about something in Pokemon Red, Blue, and also a bit in Yellow that is just not right. So in Red and Blue, Brock has an Onyx of level 14 in his team, 12 in Pokemon Yellow. And the thing is that Onyx is a Pokemon that doesn't evolve. And Pokemon like Onyx that don't evolve have a base stat spread, I believe, orientated towards being par with Pokemon that evolve twice in their second stage of evolution. And honestly, from Pallet Town all the way to Pewter City in Pokemon Red and Blue, there is not a single Pokemon that learns a move that is super effective against Onyx, unless you choose Bulbasaur or Squirtle for your starter. Then you'll have Fine Whip on Bulbasaur level 13, and Fine Whip has a base power of 35. However, Onyx has a base defense of 160, so it's not so optimized to use it. Excuse me, got interrupted again. And Bubble on Squirtle on level 8. Or Water Gun at level 15, but who's gonna train his Squirtle all the way to that? Bubble has only 20 base power, Water Gun has 40. However, Onyx has a low special stat, so you're really lucky with Squirtle. In Pokemon Yellow, where you can only have a Pikachu as starter, they tried fixing it. They put Whelp Mankeys in Route 22. And Mankeys in Yellow could exclusively learn Low Kick at level 9. Nidoran Male and Nidoran Female could learn, what is it? Double kick at level 12, and they were put in Route 22 on top of Route 2, where they already appeared in red and blue. So for this battle, we want Golduck, we want Bellsprout, and Cloyster. So you do have super effective moves to use on Onix in Pokemon Yellow, but its base stats exceed, its base stats just exceed your Pokemon. Now the Onix that is here, it has a particularly high high speed that is at least 98. And what it tries to do with Pokemon that are slower than it is just continuously get it in bind so that you can make a move and you have to switch out. This is why I recommend one Pokemon with a 100% accurate surf with a higher speed than 100. Onix's base defense is 160 and his base speed is 70. Mankey, its base attack is 80 and its base speed is 70. Nidoran male, its base attack is 57 and its base speed is 50, whereas Nidoran female has a base attack of 47 and a base speed of 41. So yeah, that's a lot of disadvantages here. And this is why the first gym, Pokemon Red, Blue and Yellow, is so difficult. Even though Brock only has 2 Pokemon. Yeah. But that is really everything regarding the commentary I want to say. I'm sorry that I particularly failed on some things, and I have to cut out some parts. But I think this is has been an alright episode. Let's do the last move, which is Surf. If Omanyte comes out, you just want to use Bellsprout, or an Ivysaur, or Bulbasaur, or Pikachu is a bit dangerous, I guess. But this has been a really easy gym and pretty interesting commentary. Just sorry that a few things just did not get into place right. It's just a bit difficult in this new format. But this has been it. The entire Pewter City Gym Leader Castle. I hope this episode has been quite a bit shorter. I hope it doesn't exceed the 20-minute mark. But there we go. Gym Leader Castle clear, Pewter City Gym. Receive the key from Brock and open Misty's tower. Next time on Pokémon Stadium, we will be taking on the Cerulean Gym with its gym leader, Misty. This has been Goku7. See you guys next time.